Hey up guys! So today I want to talk about a TV miniseries which honestly I don't think is being talked about enough. It's called Little Fires Everywhere and it's on Hulu and Amazon Prime. Glenn and I just binged all 8 episodes of it in the space of a weekend. It's so good. I think part of the reason that we found it so effective is that even though this is a miniseries set in the 90s, its themes of motherhood, white privilege and systemic racism feel very timely given the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement that's happened over the past month or so. Honestly, part of the reason I'm doing this video now, like 3 months after the show debuted, is because, well, one, I've only just watched the show, but secondly, I want to encourage more people to watch it because it is a show that everybody should be watching. So here's a spoiler-free review of season 1 of the mini-series Little Fires Everywhere. But before we get started, if you guys are new to my channel and want more movie and TV content just like this, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. If you like this video, hit like, and be sure to let me know your thoughts on Little Fires Everywhere in the comments section down below. So this mini-series is based off the book of the same name by author Celeste Ng, and no, I haven't read the book. As mentioned previously, the series is set in the 90s in the suburb of Shaker Heights, which is in Cleveland, Ohio. We begin with the ending. The very first scene sees the Richardson family watch their gorgeous, idealistic home set ablaze. The Richardson matriarch, Elena, who's played by Reese Witherspoon, looks on in horror as her picture-perfect home is lost to the flames. We learn that this was no accident, it was arson, someone intentionally set their home on fire. And now we have the mysterious premise for the series. Who set fire to their house and why? We then go back 4 months in time to August 1997 when Elena sublets her second property to an artist called Mia, played by Kerry Washington, and her teenage daughter Pearl, who's played by Lexi Underwood. And over the course of the 8 episodes, we see the chain of events which leads to the fire. Pearl immediately hits it off with all the Richardson children, they all become close friends, and despite Elena's good intentions, there's some friction between her and Mia. But things really get interesting when one of Mia's co-workers from one of her side jobs called Bibi, who's played by Huang, learns that the baby that she abandoned at a fire station in a moment of hopeless desperation has now been adopted by none other than Elena's best friend Linda, played by Rosemarie Dewitt, and now she wants her baby back. A custody battle ensues, sides are picked, Elena stands with her friend Linda, and Mia stands with Bibi and offers to pay for her legal fees. And this fierce, ethically riveting debate over motherhood begins. The claws come out. I really enjoyed this miniseries, guys. It's one slice of melodrama after the next. What I loved about this miniseries is that its 2 opposing central characters are so beautifully, messily complex. Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon do phenomenal work here. They are fully realized characters with layers and flaws. I loved watching both of them together and separately. There were times where I found Elena insufferable with her due diligence, self-righteousness, and almost aggressive niceness. She's one of those white middle-class women who thinks she's part of the solution, but is actually part of the problem. But her heart's in the right place. It's just there's lots of microaggressions that she puts on Mia and her daughter, and it's a bit cringy in places. And there were also times where I found the character of Mia abrasive and unnecessarily rude. That's what makes them great characters, because there's bits about them that you like and there's bits about them that you dislike. As the series develops, we learn more about their backstories and circumstances, the opportunities they were given or not given, their privilege or lack thereof, and eventually the messages of the show begin to crystallize. You start to see why these 2 ladies are programmed a certain way and why they have different approaches to motherhood. You see that there's deeper systemic, social and economic factors at play. I also found myself internally debating who should be given custody of the little girl. And what was fascinating was I couldn't decide which side was right. I could make an argument both for Bibi and for Linda. When there's no clear answer, that's great drama. It also got me introspecting and asking the bigger questions like, do I have some internal bias just because I'm white? Does the legal system favor the privileged and the wealthy? Should one mistake cost a mother her child? And what does being a good mother actually look like? How do you even quantify that? When a show gets you asking questions and asks you to look inward, it's doing something right. There's actual substance amongst all the melodrama. Little Fires Everywhere also touches upon topics like sexuality, immigration, adultery, and abortion. However, they don't get as much screen time as, say, the overarching custody battle plot, so some of the ideas do feel a little underbaked. But what makes Little Fires Everywhere so captivating is the actors. The performances all around are magnificent, not just from the two leads, but the other two opposing mothers in the series as well, played by Rosemarie Dewitt and Huang. They were both incredible, and the kids in this as well are also fantastic, particularly Lexi Underwood, who plays Pearl. She really holds her own in her scenes with Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington. She is a fantastic young actress. She's definitely one to keep your eye out for, predicting big things for her in the future. But also the two Richardson daughters, played by Stott and Jade Pettyjohn, they were also great. I'm hoping it's going to be Emmy nominations all around for this cast, but I worried that the fire for this show was extinguished too quickly. Again, I just don't feel like enough people are talking about this series. But we'll just have to wait and see. My only real negative for this show is a big one, and it's the revelation of who started the fire. I won't say who it is, but after I watched this, I went on Google to check to see if it was the same person that started the fire in the books, because it just didn't sit with me right. And as it turns out, it wasn't the same person who started the fire in the books. When it's revealed who it is in the show, it's dumbfounded. It doesn't add up. It's kind of a snap decision. But without spoiling it for you, the reason for burning down the house doesn't feel earned. Kind of reminds me of another disappointing TV show finale with a fire plot. It's not as infuriating as the mishandling of Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones, but much like Daenerys, it doesn't add up. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe the characters' motivations for burning down the house. And it just makes me think, is the only reason they did that is because they wanted to differentiate it from the book so people wouldn't necessarily know who it was going to be that was going to burn down the house? But the book was a bestseller, so I'm guessing people liked the revelation of who burned down the house. I'm sure it made sense. So why not just do that in the show? So yeah, that was someone's creative decision, but I don't think it was the right one. If you guys have seen Little Fires Everywhere, please do let me know what you think of the whole fire starter revelation in the comment section down below. So yeah, it's a shame that such a consistently riveting series is spoiled with such an anticlimactic reveal. But I still think that Little Fires Everywhere is worth watching. It's got complex characters, delicious melodrama, it's well paced, it's intriguing, there's Emmy-worthy performances, its topics are timely, and if you're a fan of 90s nostalgia, then I'm sure you're gonna love this show. I don't know if there will be a season 2. It feels like there is enough material, enough open storylines, and enough unanswered questions to have a second season. However, I feel it's gonna be a case of Reese Witherspoon's other miniseries, The Big Little Lies. The first season was so popular that they decided to do a second one, even though there was no other source material after that. So just because a show is popular doesn't mean you need to have a second season. This is a really solid one-off. But if they do make a second season, I will definitely watch it. I just worry it won't be as polished as the first season because it was going off the original source material. So to sum things up, guys, I'm going to give the first season of Little Fires Everywhere a score of 8 out of 10. I am definitely going to recommend that you give it a watch. It's on Hulu or Amazon Prime. Please go check it out, alright? But as always, guys, this is just one bloke's opinion. What do you think of Little Fires Everywhere? Let me know in the comment section below. Again, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you want more movie and TV content, don't forget to click subscribe. And if you want to follow me on any social media, Twitter, Instagram, etc., it's all in the video description down below. And for more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you guys next time.